Good afternoon. Good afternoon, fans. We're here today for another edition of the Football Trio. And here with me on the studio, I have Nico and Ajab, and we're going to talk about UEFA Champions League football. We know we have four quarterfinal games. We got Bayern actually playing Arsenal tomorrow. Then we have the Real Madrid Manchester City game. So we're going to talk about those two games first before we go to the other games that will take place on Wednesday. However, let's start with you guys. How are you guys doing today? How are you doing, Nico?
I'm doing well, True Lion. Good to see you. Good to see you, Ajab. It's a pleasure to be here. Let's go.
How are you doing, Ajab?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Everything good.
Did you guys get to watch the eclipse? I mean, it's big news. Everybody's talking about the eclipse. Everybody's getting those shades and watching it. I remember watching one. Was that 5 years ago in Arkansas? And we had to use one of those big long telescopes to actually watch it. I think it's fun. Uh, in some of the cities like Charlotte, we didn't have one come really over Charlotte, but I know there was one over in Dallas, Texas. But let's actually get back to football. I don't want to get you guys distracted.
No, that's true. That's true. Let's get back to football. I had everyone excited about the eclipse, but I didn't really pay. I didn't really get it. I didn't get it. It's I don't know. Everyone
I
was
think the eclipse
excited.
is telling, though. It's telling. Cameroon signs a new coach. The eclipse happens. What's about to happen to African football? I don't know. I believe in science. So,
Well, and anyways, we have some good football, some good matchups actually coming up, and we want to talk about
that's
that
right.
today. Meanwhile, if anyone is watching now, I know some of you guys are just still getting off work, but if anyone is watching now or later, please subscribe to our channel. We can grow this football channel without you guys, and we actually promise for you guys to actually come up with like more programs where we can interact with the fans and talk football. Now, let's go right into the games. Let's talk about Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. Arsenal will be hosting Bayern Munich at the Emirates. Let me start with you, Ajab. Tactically, how will this game be played? What do you see? What will be the approach of Bayern, given that Bayern lately has not been doing good?
I
So
think
somehow, mentally, do you think Bayern can repeat the type of performances they've been having against Arsenal or in the UEFA Champions League when they meet Arsenal tomorrow?
the first thing I want to say is I think this is the best time for Arsenal to face Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, it's in a period of their game where you see everything moving towards the direct opposite of how they usually get their things sorted. Bayern is normally that team where at this point of the league they would have been okay, like maybe done and dusted with the league, just waiting for one or two or three games to start celebrating the title. So they have the other league games, putting in their second team to prepare for the league. But now Bayern is in a situation where they're actually second place just based on the goal advantage because Stuttgart beat Borussia Dortmund and they now both have 60 points. So Bayern is not even guaranteed second place yet. This has not happened for, I don't know, the last time it ever happened where Bayern had to fight for the second spot. they've been in situations where they were second place, but they've never been in a situation where they're fighting for second spot. So it's the best time for Arsenal to meet. Even if Bayern was in the best of forms, I don't think they would have been comfortable meeting Arsenal, because Arsenal is at the point now where they're scoring goals, they're defending goals, everything is working the way they wanted.
Okay,
So
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so in terms of the tactical part of it, Ateta is going to play it safe, going to play the same way he's been playing. Jorginho is going to come in as a starter, give Rice the room to play the box to box, get more involved in the team's offensive play, coming back to get the balls from Jorginho and provide to the wingers. I don't know if he's going to start with Gabriel Jesus, but I know for sure Saka is going to start. Havertz is going to start out front. Havertz is having a good time in his career with Arsenal, providing assists and scoring goals, defending, doing everything. I watched the game against Brighton where I think was it Saka who gave a wrong pass, and you could see Harvest leaving the center forward, moving right across to assist the right back to defend or to save them counter attack. That's how you see
Correct.
playing. You see them a team that wants to win. You see Arsenal leading 3-0. Gabriel makes a block and they celebrate it even more than their first goal. So you see a team that wants to win, a team that is in sync. They've come together that we want to play, not just depend on the coach tactics on the bench, but we also have to play a role in the team's success. So I think Bayern is just going to go out there as a Bayern, a big team that is good in international competitions, and say, okay, we are more experienced than Arsenal. Let's try to do something. I don't really see something happening tactically because everything is falling apart in on from Tuchel. So I will not talk more. I'll just say Arsenal is going to face the game the same way they've been facing the games, giving Declan Rice that free role to move box to box, and Jorginho just sits behind him and to take the tempo of the game. Ben White has been a revelation in the last few months, doing the overlapping which we were expecting from him before. So let's wait and see how it's going to go. But I don't know if the last time I said Bayern was going to win, but the way I see the way going this time around, Arsenal has some experienced players, which I think they've played together for a while. So Arsenal being favorites for me this time. Maybe if I mentioned Bayern last time, this time around, I'll give it to Arsenal.
Okay, thank you for that. So, Nico, I see that of course Bayern is actually having problems right now playing the type of football they would like, but they have players like Kane, who I have mentioned that has scored most goals when he was in the EPL playing for Tottenham Hotspurs, 14 goals against Arsenal, and they have veterans like Müller. Müller also scored in the 5-1
Humiliation, yeah.
demolition of Arsenal last time these two teams met in UEFA Champions League. Then you have a former Arsenal player like Gnabry, who is also good. I know these guys will be hungry enough or will try to save their season by going through Arsenal. But do you think they have what it takes to come to the Emirates and give Arsenal a difficult time?
Uh, to be honest, I think this is the time for Arsenal to do what they have to do. This is the time to avenge all those games that we lost. I think in the head-to-head matchup, we lost three times, 5-1, 5-1, and 5-1. I think 2017 and 2015, the last time we met Bayern in the Champions League. So um, it's a homecoming for Serge Gnabry. I remember in the summer, there were some rumors that we were actually inquiring as to whether we could get him to come back to the Emirates and join up our team. And of course, it's a homecoming for Harry Kane, whom I hate to talk about because historically, Harry Kane has always, former Tottenham guy, North London, he always scores against Arsenal, always scores. And it's something I think I mentioned when we beat Porto and the draws came out and it showed that we had Bayern. The one thing that we can for sure look forward to is an exciting game tomorrow. One thing that's working for us is the team has been so cohesive in form and everything, but you have to be careful, right? Champions League is a different beast. A lot of these guys haven't played the Champions League at this level before, so Arsenal has a vested interest in coming out. If they come out flying, they better come out flying right and land the right punches. Because if they come out flying and then don't land those punches, and Bayern takes over that game, there's going to be trouble. I mean, look at people like Kingsley Coman. I think Kingsley Coman is probably the most exciting player right now for Bayern. I'm not even going to talk about Musiala. But Kingsley Coman, and I think he was injured, and they've just said something about him playing it. He was practicing today. He was in training today, right? A lot of these guys, Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, those are guys that we have to look out for because Bayern has those high flying wingers. All these guys I've called Musiala, Kingsley Coman, you know, Sané, Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry. These guys can fly down the wings. They can create. They can do a lot of things. Come in the middle and still play ball. So Arsenal will have to be very, very careful and compact. And just looking forward to not having a humiliating return on the game. Yes, tomorrow it should be an exciting prospect. I think tomorrow we actually take our revenge or avenge all those games that I think the last time they were playing was like Mustafi in defense. This time we're playing with the block, the Chinese wall, Saliba and Gabriel in defense. So it should be a fun, exciting experience. And of course homecoming for a few folks, but I don't I'm not too bashful about it. I guess that's the word I can use. I'm not too bashful about it. I'm just hoping that we can approach the game with some caution, some level of caution and level headedness and handle it professionally, so we can win.
Well, this is the way. Yeah. Before we move to the next team, this is the way I actually see it. Right. I mean, a player like
Hmm.
Harry Kane, who is good in moving into the midfield, he needs to be tracked. And the way I've seen Arsenal play, they are aggressive. I mean, players like Saliba and Gabriel are aggressive coming into the midfield, and they also have that help from a player like Ben Rice. And to be honest, tomorrow Ben Rice will be very, very essential because I know Bayern Munich likes to run down the middle. Harry Kane falls into the midfield, or Müller they fall into the midfield. Then they like running into the middle. Uh,
Yep.
Musiala also is another that type of player that can run into the middle. So Arsenal has to be
Yep.
aggressive enough. You know, they are the third youngest team in the EPL, one of the youngest teams also in the Champions League. So they have that
Mhm.
energy, so they can
Yeah.
outwork Bayern because one of the greatest strengths of Bayern Munich was usually the way they work together as a team, right? They work so hard, they run around. Ajab just mentioned Havertz running right, and I saw that move where Saka had lost the ball, but he
Saka.
had to
Yeah.
run right back and defend. And these are the
Mm.
things that Arteta has actually gotten his team to be able to play and compete with the best. Because in order to beat
Mhm.
the best, you don't only have to match them out like tactically, but you have to outwork them as well. So this is
Yeah.
something I believe Arsenal is good at. And then their corner kicks. I've not seen a team
Oh
that
yeah.
is so
Set
good at
pieces.
corner kicks also, or free kicks like Arsenal. The season alone they scored 19 goals from corner kicks. I mean that's in the EPL. 13. I mean 19 goals from free kicks, 13 from corner kicks. So these are things that we should actually look out to. So I expect Arsenal, especially playing at home, they're coming out that 3-0 victory. So the confidence is actually building back up. But one of the key players that must play well for Arsenal to dominate Bayern is Odegaard. That's how I say it. So I'm not sure if any of you guys have something else to add before we move on to the next.
Yeah. I think very key to winning this game will be Odegaard for sure having the game, but we already know that their midfield is such that folks like Joshua Kimmich and Goretzka are going to spend their time making sure that they disrupt those out balls or those quick, intricate passes that we give with Odegaard, right? And we'll try to make sure that Odegaard doesn't have enough time on the ball to make those touches and pick out play, and pick out someone to play to. So what we're going to see tomorrow is not the traditional Bayern that we've been used to. I can guarantee you that. Thomas Tuchel has already alluded to some of this stuff in his press conference just moments ago today when he talked about him wanting his team to punish Arsenal, right? They will come in with a lot of confidence, right? Knowing that they've beaten Arsenal the last three times they met in the Champions League. So the key to us to winning this game is making sure that we isolate Odegaard with whomever is picking him up because Odegaard can make those tricky moves, drop the shoulder and beat his player and allow him the time to do that. So we should be able to distract their midfield enough. So I don't know who does that for us. I don't know that Rice and Jorginho will be the right partnership for this game. I think a Partey, go in with Partey and maybe Rice, or switch it around. Maybe this is a game where Declan Rice actually starts as a DM and allows uh, someone else to help out in that eight role. Not of course not the tall German, what's his name, Havertz, but someone else. I'm not sure whom, but I think this is the type of game where you need someone in that sixth role who is really, really energetic and powerful, who is going to do some work to help out Odegaard, because these guys are going to come for Odegaard. He's not going to have enough time to play tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead, Ajab.
let me ask you this, Ajab. Yeah, I know you want to talk, but I'll ask you this question based on what Nico just said. Do you think, because in football they say you play the way you train, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Nico is saying Bayern is going to come with some confidence. I don't see where the confidence is going to come from. So
That's
Ajab, because
that's
if you
that's one of the things I wanted to say. The first thing I want to say is that Bayern is not going to come with any confidence. The last time Bayern beat Arsenal was 25 years ago. I don't even
25,
remember.
yes,
I,
2017.
yeah,
it's going to
I'm
say
just
it's a
trying to
long
say
time.
it's a
It's a
long
long
time
time
ago.
ago.
So
Yeah.
none of the players for Arsenal played at that time. So it's a
Trust
completely
me.
different Arsenal team they're meeting. So it's
Let,
going to
let
be
me just say
completely
this.
different. Okay,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
wait,
Let me say,
do
because
Ajab finish?
it's because of Harry Kane in that dressing room that I say they will have confidence. Because Harry Kane will be
No.
pumping these guys up in that
Yeah.
dressing room.
So
Trust me.
and then
So
secondly, and the thing I want to say, Arsenal is a completely different Arsenal team, and Arsenal have been playing Bayern. They were coming off maybe some few not good moments before meeting Bayern and all that, and then Bayern was a dominant Bayern. It's not Bayern was not just coming with a poor form in the league to come and demolish Arsenal. They were also flying in the league before coming to meet Arsenal. So you're meeting a Bayern team now that the confidence is low. Players, probably you've been hearing rumors about players not in good relationship with Tuchel. And also another thing, if you've noticed, the last few games for about 5, 6, 7 games, Kimmich plays as a right back now for both the national team and for Bayern. So it's gonna be different. And by Kimmich is not the kind of energetic midfielder. He's very intelligent when he plays as a midfield. All he does is he dictates the play.
mhm,
He gets the ball from the right back, left back, and
and
he
moves it.
fits the offense. That's how he plays. It's not the kind of tackling and all that. So another thing you mentioned about the midfield, stick to Jorginho. Jorginho has been very good recently. He gives Declan Rice that
That
extra
freedom.
push. Go and play. I
Mhm.
stay here. I don't have the energy like you to roam about. I'll just stay here. The most I'll do is I send it out to throw in. You guys come and help. Or I go get the ball from the center backs and I give it to you guys to play. So
Yeah,
stick with Jorginho right in front of him and Odegaard. Havertz will play
Okay.
his blind or 9.5 role. Saka on the right. I don't know if they're going to start with Martinelli or Trossard or Gabriel. The good thing about Arsenal now is that they have options. Before you could
Yeah.
dictate Arsenal's first 11 like you could dictate Cameroon's first 11 in the 2002 era. Arsenal now is different, you can. But one thing for sure also about Arsenal, since Bayern, even though Bayern is not good, but they have good wingers. For sure, I
Hmm.
know Ateta is not going to start with Zichenko. He will start with
No,
the
no.
Kivio or somebody
Kivio or
who
the
is
the
good,
Japanese guy.
or Tomiyasu,
Yeah.
who are good defensively.
Hmm.
He's not going to bring in Zichenko. That's for
Yeah.
sure. I know that.
Because
yeah.
I mean
So,
that's the one advantage that
Well,
Bayern has, right? They
yeah,
distract you down the wings with those kids, and then the guys create stuff in the middle. Like Harry Kane would drop Thomas Muller, who is still playing. Surprisingly, Thomas Muller actually was in the game that in 2017 where they beat us. So it's surprising. But anyways, yeah, go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead, True Lion.
yeah. Okay, guys. Yes, let's move on to the next game. We know what's his name? Walker would not be there. I expected that key matchup between Walker and Vinicius when Real
oh,
Madrid actually
it's
faces.
it's confirmed. It's confirmed. Walker is not going to play.
Yes, it's
Yeah, it
confirmed.
looks like it.
Walker is not
Looks
going to
like
play.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like
So
it.
Okay.
he did not
So
actually fly out with the team.
okay.
So that will not there will be no matchup Walker
Mhm.
versus Vinicius. So
Yeah.
Ajab, or let's start with Nico this time around. Nico, what do you see? How does that change the way City approaches this game?
Uh I still think it will come down to the midfield. If somehow Bellingham can have a good game, get past Rodri, then Real Madrid will have a fun day, a good day at the office. But with Vinicius down the wing and who plays on the right side for Real Madrid? What's his name?
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Yeah, Rodrigo. I don't know who they will play there because I think Ake is also injured, right? So maybe John Stones comes back because John Stones is healthy. I mean, he practiced, right? So, or maybe Akanji. I don't know. I don't know how that matchup would look like, but it will be fun to see. Akanji versus Vinicius. Hmm, and Rodrigo versus John Stones, maybe. That should be a fun one. But I think the key battles, yes, I think the key battles will be Jude Bellingham in that midfield, having to figure out how to play around the block, the Rodri high sense block, or I think that's what it comes down to for me. Because the wings, I don't think we'll have a lot of joy down the wings because it's going to be very. I mean, these guys will try to go, but the defense will stand up to the task. Because even without Walker, I think the defense, the City defense is good enough. Akanji or John Stones or whoever comes in should be able to handle the task. Um, it would have been fun to see Walker down there though, blocking out Vinicius or Rodrigo, whomever would be on his side. But all I have to say is um, it's kind of tough to call this one because Real Madrid is also coming in with a hunch in the back where the last time they met City, City demolished them, right? And so they will have a point to prove here. I think, and that was last season. So I think they will have a point to prove here. If they can stop Haaland from scoring, if they can stop De Bruyne from playing through the middle, I don't know. Foden will still create. So Real Madrid will have to choose how to split up their block on these guys. Because if you block De Bruyne or you focus too much on De Bruyne, Foden will create. If you focus too much on Foden, Rodri can even create. So they have to strike a very good balance. They will have to strike a very good balance to come away with a win. And I think City can actually easily take care of this because Real Madrid is not that team that will be tactically thinking, okay, we got to put a low mid block or whatever. No, they will just come out and try to play their own game and try to impose it on City, and City will be able to pick them apart. That's how I see it.
Okay. Thanks for that. But Ajab, Real Madrid has not played a game since 10 days ago. There was the Copa del Rey. They had already been knocked out at the Copa del Rey. So, do you think it will actually dawn on them? 10 days they have not played a game. We've seen City been able to put on some good results after that disappointing draw against Arsenal. So, who goes into this game with a better form?
It could be the 10 days not playing could be both sides of the coin. It could be that we're well rested, so we're now ready to face Real. It could be that no, we needed to be playing so that we know how we prepared for sorry, sorry, it could be both sides of the coin in the sense that we've rested now, we're ready to face Man City. It could be the other side of the coin that oh, we needed to be playing often so we know how prepared we are to face Man City. But something which I have paid attention to watching Real Madrid for a little while now is that I wasn't expecting any real duel between um, uh, Kyle Walker and Vinicius, even if Walker was ready and fit, because Vinicius has not been playing full as a winger this season for Madrid. Madrid doesn't play with a striker, so the way they play now is like they have two guys. Rodrigo
Yeah.
plays more. Rodrigo
Mm-hmm.
and Rodrigo and Vinicius, they play a little bit more
Vinicius.
to the center, and then they just open up once in a while and give Bellingham that space now to play as the blind nine. So they are not really wingers like they normally used to be because of the absence of an actual striker with Real Madrid. So that's the way they're going to set up the play. So it's still going to be an issue where Man City has to be prepared in the midfield very well. And we mentioned they're missing Kyle Walker. Stones is back. They might have this guy, and Vadiol is going to start for sure. He's been good in the last few games
Okay.
ever since he came due to Ake, and Ake is injured. So the young kid, they might
Lewis.
Guardiola may give him
Lewis.
chance again to prove how good he is. Rico Williams, he's good with the ball.
Yeah.
I haven't test. I don't know how he's been. I don't know if he's been tested that much without the ball, but with the ball, he's good. So there's gonna be an issue there. But I know they still have Akanji, Ruben Diaz, Vajol, and Stones. So to an extent, they're ready to face Real Madrid from a defensive point. And then Nico was making reference of if you block De Bruyne, you still have Foden to create. If you block Foden, you have Rodri to create a De Bruyne. But you forgot one of the key guys, actors for Manchester City, which is Bernardo
Silva.
Silva.
Silva. That's right.
Bernardo Silva, that guy is he's they don't talk much about that guy, but he goes about his
Hmm.
business. Very effective. He's good with the ball, good without the ball. If you want him to drop right to the back and get the ball from the center back, he goes. If you want him to get the ball from Rodri, he goes. If you want him to play as a winger, he's still as effective as he is. When Monaco had that dangerous team in the 2016-17, Bernardo Silva played at some point as a winger. So he's very effective anywhere you put him there. So it's going to be a game where, like you mentioned, also Ancelotti is not the kind of coach who will go sit back and say, "I'm scared of Madrid. I'm sorry, I'm scared of City. Let's sit back and play." He's going to try, even though he's going to be very cautious. He's going to probably play a low block, but he's going to play a low block where he won't sit in his own camp. He will block them and try to play high line football. City doesn't have those pacey guys, so a high line low block could favor Real Madrid in this game. So that's how I look at the game. I still think City is going to win, but it's not going to be as dominant as I thought because I've noticed City is the kind of team they barely play without conceding. That's not how City used to be. So it's going to be a game where it's going to be an almost equal game. I still see City as being favorites to make it to
Okay.
the next round. Yeah.
Okay. The last time actually these two teams met, there were two players that I think their departure has affected the way Manchester City actually plays this season. I'm talking about Gundogan and I'm talking about Mahrez. Without those two players, the ball retention is not as good. The defense is not as good. It's affected it. Then now, even when these two teams met, Walker, I saw instances where Walker extinguished Vinicius with his pace. Without Walker, I believe that Manchester City will be exposed when they play a high block because the defenders that they have, none of them, apart from Akanji, none of those other defenders have a speed that is even a little bit compared to a Vinicius, So I still think that the absence of Walker will be huge, and that don't don't be surprised if Real Madrid goes and attack Manchester City the way Liverpool actually did. They watch their
Yeah.
game. They know that their midfield, they have young players in their midfield, and they know that those young players. I'm not sure if what's his name, the French guy, the midfielder,
Oh,
Kamavinga
Chumeni,
or
Chumeni,
Tchouaméni?
not
Chumeni,
Chomani, not Chomani. Uh,
Camavinga,
Kamavinga was injured.
Val, Cama, Valverde,
No,
what's it
no,
called?
French guy, Kamavinga.
Camavinga, Eduardo. Yeah,
Kamavinga was injured in the French when they went for
for the
international
for the
break.
international break. Yeah,
Yeah, so he's not played a game ever since then. So I'm not sure how he's. But another key player that I know will be essential and that will start for Manchester City is Grealish. You guys know how Grealish is good, not because of his offense, but because he defends really well. And
And he
Pep
knows how to
Guardiola,
keep the ball too, yeah.
yeah, and Pep Guardiola would
yeah.
like that, especially when they are going, because I know Pep Guardiola, although he likes to attack, he will not go blind, like just blindly to attack Real
Hmm.
Madrid.
Real
No,
Madrid.
he knows that they have that return game, and he will
Yeah,
play like the way he played last year, where he played with
that's
some caution
exactly what
and that
happened.
game
Yeah,
was 1-1, and then make sure that
yeah,
they still have the chance and that players like Walker will be back during the return game.
yeah.
Thanks, guys. Let's go
Mm.
ahead and talk about game number three, Wednesday games. Now we're approaching the Wednesday games. Let's go with we have Atletico Madrid visiting Borussia Dortmund for
Dortmund.
that crucial game. I know this is a game. If I can remember, I had Borussia Dortmund actually going down,
Beating.
Atletico Madrid going
Mhm.
through. I'm not sure what you guys had. That's been a while, but
I
what?
had I had
Yeah.
How do you guys actually see this game?
my prediction
Let's
was
start
my
with
prediction
Ajab.
was that my prediction was that Dortmund was going to pull a shocker. They were going to eliminate Atletico Madrid. I still stand by it. It's going to be a tough game, but for some reason, I just think this is going to be one of those games where someone that most people are writing off is just going to come out there and do something. And I see Dortmund, Atletico Madrid has not, even though they put out a masterclass against Inter Milan, but there's something I still think that they're missing, or they're not consistent. So this might be a opportunity for Borussia Dortmund to oversee the game and make it to the semis. But yeah. So from a tactical standpoint, we know how Simone plays. Everybody defends. Everybody defends. You start you defending from the. Everybody needs to be physical. Not necessarily everybody defends, but everybody is physical. we don't. There's no room for creativity, except with the exception of Griezmann, who has become very creative in the last 1 or 2 years in the way he plays for both Alex club and countryside. Everyone else is more of the physical attack, pacey kind of football for Atletico. While Dortmund on the other side is a completely team that plays on the offense, and they focus more on their wingers. They have good wingers, and then they play with I always forget his name, but
Sancho.
not
Jadon
Sancho,
Sancho,
the guy who plays like the number 10 for them, the
the
blonde guy.
Nigerian guy, the Adeyemi.
No, the blonde guy. Is it Brandt?
Brand. Oh, Julian
William
Julian Brand.
William Brandt, yeah. So he's gonna be key for them for this game. He's gonna be key for them because he's the one that plays. He's the one that starts the offense game for them. So if he's missing in that game, it's gonna be problems. I know DePaul is gonna be. He's always been good for his physicality and all that, but I think Brandt is gonna be the key person for Dortmund. If he has a good game, Dortmund is gonna play well, and then Sancho is getting back to himself. The way he played for Dortmund before he left for United, he's gaining back his confidence at Dortmund. Maybe no pressure and all that. Sometimes when you say someone is done, that's when they pick up and done. Sancho has picked up ever since he signed for Dortmund. Even the young guy who plays on the same line as the left back, who's actually a left winger, who is on loan at Dortmund from Chelsea, is also playing very well. So it's going to be a good game. I think it's gonna be a game of almost equal strength, not from the physical part, from the way both teams are gonna dominate on each halves of the game. So it's gonna be a game where whoever wins is gonna be slight. But I see Dortmund making it to the next group, to the next stage of the competition. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. But Nico, this game, the away game, will actually be played in Madrid. For
Hmm.
that Wednesday game. And
Oh,
That's where it
Wednesday's in
becomes.
Madrid.
That's where it becomes. Yeah, that's where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still see a tie. I see a tie in Madrid.
yeah, the away game is actually gonna play in Madrid. I mean, that first game is gonna play in Madrid.
Hmm.
So I mean, how do you see Tazic, the Dortmund coach? How do you see him
There's it.
approaching
Yeah.
approaching
Edin
the
Terzic.
game? Yeah, given that
Yeah.
we have seen Atletico Madrid when they play at home, they don't sit back and
Oh
defend.
yeah.
Some people know it's a defensive team, but we look at the stats. Atletico Madrid has scored more goals in this competition
Hmm.
than even Real Madrid. So how do you see them approaching this game at home?
So the one thing I can call out on this game is that it's going to be a very very good watch for the neutrals. Anybody who is neutral who just wants to enjoy football is going to have a good time watching this game because on one side you have people like Mark the Llorente, you have Griezmann, you have Morata, and on the other side you have Emre Can, Savitsa, and Brand. Right, so this is going to be one of those games where all this talent is going to be on display for us to actually enjoy football. So I think the fact that the game is going to be so tactical and powerful and it's going to be collectively brilliant, you will see some really good tenacious play from some of these guys, especially the guys from Atletico Madrid. I think because they're much older, and I think what's his name, Memphis Depay, who kind of took them across the line in their last round, is injured, right? But I still think somehow this Atletico Madrid team is the bogey team of the tournament. I don't know. You have to be scared when you draw Atletico Madrid because you don't know how to play against them sometimes. Because on a good day, these guys can annihilate you, like they will beat the crap out of you. But on a bad day, they can come out and if they know it's a bad day, they can just defend and get across the line. So for Dortmund to win, like you guys are saying, I think Dortmund has to play the perfect game and I don't see that happening. They're going to take goals. They've not been very clinical in front of goal. They've been taking goals, and even in the league, right? So I get the feeling that Atletico will go through. I just this is the bogey team for me in this round of eight. Atletico Madrid. It's the bogey team. I'm not sure. Nobody's really rating them, but I rate them a lot. I don't know why, but it's just something about Atletico Madrid that makes me think that they can actually shock everybody and go through in a lot of ways.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Although I did say that Atletico Madrid will go through, but I don't think Dortmund has to play at a very, very high level in order to maybe overturn that result. However, let me just
Mhm.
read some stats for you guys since you talked about goals scored in this tournament, Champions League between
Mhm.
Atletico and Borussia Dortmund. Atletico Madrid has scored an average of 2.4. They have 2.5 goals scored, 2.4
Per
goals
game.
scored per game, while
Mhm.
Dortmund has scored 1.3.
Mhm.
Isn't that amazing? Goals conceded: Atletico Madrid 1.0, Dortmund 0.6. So you see the
Yeah.
roles are reversing. Yeah, Dortmund is defending better, scoring
Defending
better
better.
goals,
Yeah.
while and let me just say for the last 5 games, because in football, show me what you have done for me lately. For the last 5 games, that's together with Champions League, league games, and all that.
The games.
Dortmund has scored 1.8 goals, while Atletico 1.2. So recently, Dortmund is scoring, and Dortmund is still not conceding.
They're
Dortmund is
not
still
conceding as much.
they're not conceding as much.
Yeah, but
So
they lost their last game though. They lost their last game to Stuttgart, no? This
Yeah,
game over the
yeah,
weekend. Yeah.
yeah, 1-0.
what I'm saying is that they are not conceding as much.
As much. Yeah.
For the last 5 games, they have conceded 0.6 per game,
Yeah.
while Atletico is conceding 1.6. So Atletico
1.6.
has a porous defense more than Borussia Dortmund. I just wanted to
Hmm.
actually point that out to you guys, meaning that
That's a good stat
Borussia
though.
Dortmund can go out and defend in
And they
Madrid,
will,
and then the fast
and the
Nigerian
return leg,
the
yeah, they
first
will get their
Nigerian
goals.
we saw the last game that they beat Bayern Munich 2-0. We saw his role.
Hmm.
He's out there on the left, and that's going to be the exit, right? That's going to be their exit, turning defense into offense. So this Dortmund team, Ajab might actually be right over here. Can really, really upset
Hmm.
Atletico Madrid, but it's going to be a fun game to watch. That game will be on
It
Wednesday,
should
and
be.
we'll be chilling. So now
Yeah.
let's go to the last game. My team, Barcelona. Well, that's my team, but I picked PSG to win just because Barcelona has been up down. But the few games that has actually happened in La Liga, I see Barcelona trying to pick some form, and then Xavi is maybe gaining some confidence. Some of their players that were injured are trying to come back. I mean, Ajab, when you look at this game, I know I was watching the French Canal Plus the other day. All they were showing like memories of how Paris Saint Germain beat Barcelona. Then they refused to show that comeback where Barcelona actually tore the hearts of Paris Saint Germain fans.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what do you think about this game? This is
yeah.
Mbappe's last
The
game.
French, yeah,
This might be Mbappe's last. This is his last
season.
UEFA Champions League with PSG. Mbappe definitely has something to prove. Do you think Mbappe would be the man that makes the difference in this time?
Yeah, earlier when I gave my predictions the last time about a month or more ago when the draws came out, I said the only reason I'm giving it to PSG is because of the Mbappe factor. He's proven. Even though people will say you prove when you've now won, you must not win a competition to prove that you're top. So he's proven that he can make difference because every top team he's played against in the Champions League, he scored against them. So if he scores and then the rest of the players are not putting up the show, you cannot say he's not won the Champions League, so he's not proving himself. That's Mbappe factor is the reason I was saying PSG could win. But I've been as you mentioned, I looked at Barca the last few games. Barca has started to become a little bit steady, but my fear with Barca is that when you watch or you listen to analysts talk about the steadiness of Barca, especially at the back line, they're trying to link it with a 17-year-old Kubasi. That's where I have fear. An experienced player is the one that is making Barca's back line to be stable. I'm a little scared about that. But still, that's not a problem. They still have a few players. I don't know if De Jong is going to be available for that game.
He's supposed to
He's
play.
still injured. He's still
Still
injured.
injured, okay. Because if you had a midfield of De Jong and Gundogan, I think there would have been a way to take care of PSG because PSG midfield is not convincing. A good thing about PSG is that the Slovenian guy is back. Skriniar is back. No,
Mhm.
Marquinhos is back. So maybe their defense line is starting to look a little bit organized. They don't have a left back and a center defensive midfield playing as center backs now. So things are starting to look. Then the young Portuguese guy too, the Mendes guy who used to play left back is also back. So and then Hakimi, everyone. So they're starting to come back. Everyone is healthy now, so they may be able to face Barcelona. But before I said PSG, this time around, it's tough for me. I don't know if I'm still going to say PSG or Barcelona, because Barcelona has a few guys like Lewandowski, Gundogan, who have been there for a while, and they can create that different. They can create that impact. But I still give it to PSG, even though it's going to be a tight one. Yeah, it's not going to be easy for them. I still give it to PSG just because they still have that Kylian Mbappe, and then they have. Like, I'm just a little bit scared of the midfield. The midfield of Zaire Emery and Vitinho and the other guy. It's not convincing to me. But we have Mbappe up front, so let's see how it goes. So I'll still give it to PSG. It's gonna be tight, but I give it to PSG.
So the difference for me is I personally do not like one person teams, a one man team, and I keep saying PSG is a one man team because everything always starts and stops with Mbappe somehow.
Yeah.
And that's why I personally don't believe that he cannot be the one sole person to do everything to take the team across the line. Like he can do the beginning, he can do the basics, he can do some part of it, but at least other members of the team have to chip in. And it just feels to me like PSG is a one man team. It has been that way for a while. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons why want away he wants to leave.
It's not been
But
sorry to interrupt. It's not been like that for
yeah,
a while. It's not been a
okay.
one man team for a while. You used to have
Yeah, well,
this is where Mbappe will be shut down and then Neymar explodes.
Neymar
It's
explodes.
always
But
been
now they
yeah,
don't have that.
yeah.
They don't
So
have that, right?
it's this
Well,
season that
these
we
two
see that.
seasons,
Yeah.
these last 2 seasons, since Messi left and Neymar left. So the one thing I think will happen in this game is that Barcelona has this thing about them, this comeback theme, I think, because over the beginning of the Champions League, beginning of the year, nobody could have seen Barcelona making it to the second round, much less the round of eight, right? Because of the way they were playing. They were in bad form, March, not March, sorry, previous months, they were not doing it at all. They were not, and somehow they figured out a way to get in there, get the work, get the intensity and the work that they needed to do, and hey, look where they are in the round of eight, eight of the best in Europe right now, and somehow I just feel like this all for one spirit thing that Xavi preaches is going to get them across the line. I mean, yes, Lamine is young. Kubasi, you talked about Kubasi, the defender. But those are. I mean, having a team working with a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old and things like that, it's good. It's good. And it's also good for storylines, right? It's also good for history. Like you look at Kubasi and you're thinking, okay, maybe Carlos Puyol, maybe Gerard Piqué, right? Those storylines are still there for you to think about. And plus, it's Xavi coaching them. So I just feel like they have a midfield that is so sublime and that's tactically adept and can do the job. When you look at PSG, so many injuries. Hakimi cannot play tomorrow because he's injured. On Wednesday, sorry, because he's not injured. Sorry, he's suspended. He's suspended. He cannot play on Wednesday. But outside of that, I think Barcelona can just figure out a way to get the line to get across the line in this one, and so I'm sticking with my choice for Bayern on this one. Plus, I don't trust PSG. I go back to the historical head-to-head with Unai Emery as coach. I just don't trust PSG to do what they have to do to win. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that. I think Barcelona actually has a chance, given that PSG actually are chokers and playing at home. The pressure would actually be on them to actually give a good account of themselves. Mbappe is the one that I actually fear that can make the difference for PSG. However, we all know that Barcelona, if they go there, maybe look for a way to score first, an early goal, then that might just help maybe unsettle PSG because PSG doesn't have that experience in the midfield. Yes, I know they have the young, what's his name? Is that Xavi?
Zaire Emery.
Jab,
Emery.
Zai,
Yeah,
Zaire
Emery.
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 Yeah, those are some good, exciting players. I think PSG is a transitional team
Yeah.
for the future. However, what really made me just give PSG the advantage is also that Barcelona also are not playing their best football. They are not settled. Then that injury. I just read the young. Yes, the young is bad, He played a training session, full training session a couple of days ago. Pedri is the one who's still lingering with injury, but these guys might actually be well and ready for the return leg. So this game will be dependent on how Barcelona actually shows up. Of course, you have Lewandowski. Yes, he's 35 years old. He's slowed down and all that. But any ball in the box, he plays ball in the box, he will for sure put it in
Yeah.
into the net. So these are things actually that we should be looking out to. Then Xavi, his ego has been touched, right? You know, a couple of months ago, he was forced to come out and say he'll be leaving the team. So I know the players will go out there to fight for him, and he also has something to prove. But he's going
Hmm.
against another coach, Luis Enrique, someone who has experience and has won the UEFA Champions League. Yes, with Barcelona, but that experience actually will count for something.
Yeah, and we cannot, and let me just jump in, Tru3lion, before you finish. Sorry, we cannot ignore the fact that there's so much confidence that has come back to Barcelona's team. Because the past few months, the months just before the second round of the tournament, when Xavi went through the episode and everything, they were lacking confidence. You could see it in the way they played. You could see the team was labored. There was no intensity in their game. But now those things are back. Those things are back, and Barcelona looks like a good shoe in, right?
Okay.
So that's just something I think, that's why I kind of picked them. So
Okay, thanks for that. Just go through. Let's go now through the comments. I know JC has been busy there. Thanks for staying here with us and watching. Also, we see Alfred Grasby. Thanks, guys. We do appreciate you guys. So let's go ahead and read some of the comments, Nico, so that we can actually see what they are talking about.
okay, I'm not sure I can find it, but let me see. Yep, there you go. For JC, the first comment was about Bayern and Arsenal. Talking about, let me read it out. Bayern. Bayern v Arsenal, it is simple. Arsenal is going to win. Bayern are terrible. They have some good players, but Tuchel at the helm, forget it. He thinks Tuchel is going to sabotage them by playing Eric Dier. Okay, that's one way to look at it. But I don't know if he sabotages them. Then who is going to hire him after that? I don't know. But anyways,
No,
and
no,
I
no.
think he
Tuchel,
continues.
sorry, Tuchel is one of those managers. He's having a bad time at Bayern. Maybe the philosophy of
Mhm.
Bayern didn't work with him. Tuchel is one of those guys that he will always get a job. He's a good coach, no matter what he's messing up at
Mhm.
Bayern. Everywhere he went to before Bayern, he's been doing a good job. So
Yes,
yeah. So but
yeah,
Dortmund, at Mainz, he was doing the good job. At Dortmund, he did a good job. At
Dortmund.
PSG, he did a good job. At Chelsea, he did a good job. Things didn't just work out well at Bayern. I know it's seven. You cannot fire players. You only have to fire a coach
Yeah,
when things are not going
I
out
mean,
well.
and Bayern is one of
Yeah,
those teams where even if they win the league, they still like they fire their coach because they
no,
didn't play well.
exactly.
They didn't
Ancelotti,
play
yeah,
entertaining football.
Ancelotti went to
Yeah,
Bayern
that's how
Munich.
Ancelotti. Yep.
He went to Bayern Munich and he flopped and he was fired. So
Yeah.
Bayern Munich
Yeah.
firing someone to me is not has it's not a performance
Yeah.
based
No, but
Yeah.
issue.
no, but let's agree. Tuchel's own has been performance based. He's not been good.
No, but I'm just saying that
No, no,
even
we know that the
I'm saying that
performance has not been.
people have messed up at Bayern before, so it's not
Yes.
too new. That's what I'm trying to say. That, and it doesn't mean after Bayern, Tuchel is still going to get a job after Bayern, and I think he's going to do well.
Hmm.
I, for one, I know I watch football first. Before I want to support a team, I also want to watch a team play good football. I may not be a fan of Tuchel for the way he sets up his team, but based on results and all that, which people
Hmm.
say football and results, he's not horrible. It's bad. It's been bad at Bayern for the last 2 seasons, but
Yeah, of course, we
Yeah, and
cannot
Bayern,
blame everything. We cannot blame everything on Tuchel. I mean,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
the
hmm
team. The team was not good last year as well. So it's
yeah,
not.
it wasn't. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
they fired
All right.
but
On to the next one.
Yeah,
they
go to the
fired
next one.
Nagelsmann, and then everything just turned sour when he was doing
Everything
something
just
good.
went up.
So I
Yep.
think that's where he started.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So JC also thinks that Madrid will beat City tomorrow 2-1.
Where are they
I
playing
don't
the game?
know.
Are they playing at the
They're
Bernabeu
playing
or
in
at?
Madrid.
No,
Yeah,
it'll be
might
yeah, no,
Bernabeu.
no, no. I don't think Madrid will win City.
Yeah,
Let's
Madrid.
anyways.
I think it will be a tie, but we'll see. I don't know that next last year will repeat itself, but we'll see how that goes. City is definitely going to take a goal or two though, because City's defense has been very porous. They've every game they've played in the last few like last 5 games, 6 games, they've conceded a goal. So I don't know,
Except Arsenal, yeah.
You say
except
goal.
against Arsenal. Yeah,
You say City is gonna take a goal or two
Yeah,
Yeah,
goals.
that's what Nico is saying.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
City is
City
going to take a
concedes.
goal
I
or
see
two.
City. Yeah, City they concede a lot. So
City concede a lot of goals, and it's surprising because that's not City. That's not the City we've been
exactly.
used to. So something is
Exactly.
off.
Let me
But
just
yeah,
well, in Champions League, yeah, goals conceded 1.1, goals
hmm
conceded for City 1.1, goal conceded for Real Madrid
Madrid.
1.1.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They've definitely scored more goals than and shots on target. They actually have lesser shot on target than okay.
should be fun. It's gonna be a good game. I think both games tomorrow. I don't know why they're scheduled on the same time. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like let somebody play
I don't
ahead.
think,
Like let's get to watch. Their games are at the same time, same
yeah.
exact time.
What do you mean the games?
Yeah, the games are at the same exact time, 3 p.m. Both games.
Yeah, that's how they make those quarterfinals. But I
But
don't think
that's
I
how.
think
Yeah,
But it's
that's how
it's
you
a
don't know.
quarterfinals. It doesn't
So you
make a
want
difference. I
you
mean,
wanted the game to start at what time? You wanted one game to start.
do one that start at like 12:30, the other one come at 3. Man,
no
come
no
on.
that's
Let
not
let's let's all get to enjoy TV, man.
yeah.
Now
But
you'll be split. You'll be
I
watching
don't
like
think
on the iPad and on the TV.
I don't think this game. If you guys say that City is gonna because Nico, you said that City is gonna the win, right?
Yes, yes. I think it's gonna be a
So
tough
so
game, but I think City
no, you
comes
say
out on
City.
top.
Hold on. Then you say City is gonna concede 2 goals. So City is gonna
They
win
will
as well.
concede.
3-2.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I don't think it's gonna be a
Nah,
high scoring.
Real Madrid hasn't been very good defensively either. These teams take goals. They do. But anyways, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I think more likely a draw, but I don't know that next. I don't know that it will be a draw. There has to be a winner tomorrow. There has to be, but who knows? Anyways, that's Atletico Madrid for you. Very unpredictable. They might go through. They have a lot of experience and fighting spirit. It will be a fair game, and that's exactly how I see it. Atletico Madrid is the bogey team for this tournament. For the remaining 8, I think Atletico Madrid is that one team that can figure out a way to get across the line. So
We've been saying that about Atletico for the last 8, 10 seasons. I'm tired of saying that about Atletico. Trust me.
I knew he would say
No, no,
that.
no. But we've been saying that about since the last time they played the finals, and then they
No,
step
but one
back. We've
thing,
been saying Atletico is the joker. Atletico's every
yeah,
year
but
they come out. And,
one thing we cannot hold against them right now is the scoring. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
PSG
yeah,
are scoring. They're scoring
yeah.
enough.
They're
They've,
scoring
hmm
a lot.
they've
Yeah,
spent
that's
a
true.
lot of money. They spend a lot of money, so I'll not be surprised if they go through Borussia Dortmund. I still think
hmm
Atletico Madrid can beat Borussia Dortmund, so I stick with that.
Okay. I think so too. I think Atletico can just shock us all, but we'll
It's
see.
not a
All
shock,
right,
man.
next one
It
is
will not be a shock.
Atletico beating Dortmund is not a
It's
shock.
not a
I'm just
shock.
well,
saying
it's not a shock. That's
it's
true,
not a
but
shock.
now I'm just saying that because majority of the people think Dortmund will just go past
Oh,
them
instead,
easy.
most people think Atletico will make it through. Very few
Yeah.
people think Dortmund will make it through instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Barca is going to go through. PSG just they just they even though Barca too just decreased. Okay. You never know which Barca team will turn up. The injuries too are not helping them. That's very true. The injuries are not helping, but I don't know.
No, I think when guys keep saying that you never know what Barca team will turn up, I don't think. Well, maybe they are talking about inconsistency, but
Yes.
Barca has also been in a transition. Kudos to them. They won the league actually last year when no one
hmm
actually expected,
Expected
and
it.
they did not do enough signings this year in order to match up. What Atletico,
They
what
didn't have money.
Real Madrid, what Real Madrid
Okay.
was actually bringing
hmm
to the plate. And well, it's not a matter of they didn't have money for me. It's just a matter of because they still don't have money, but they won the league last year, right? So it's just the way their defense has actually collapsed because last year they won the league on defense. This year, I think Xavi was trying to bring back some flair in their game, but Gavi, Pedri, they have not actually remained. They have not been able to be fit, and that's actually destabilized the team. Then we also know De Jong, he's been strong in that midfield, but when those guys are all
He's
injured,
out.
Gavi, Pedri, De
De
Jong, who
Jong,
did they play?
Pedri, Balde,
Romelu.
It,
They played
as
Romelu.
Balde.
They played
Balde has
Yeah.
Balde even played
Balde
this
is also
season?
injured. No,
He's not.
Balde is out for the season.
no.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about the midfield. They played Romelu. They've played Christensen in that
Christensen, he's
midfield.
also out.
Christensen has been playing as a midfielder
Yes,
recently.
as
So
a
most of
He
the
was
midfielder.
the
yeah.
midfielder. Yeah, he was like a
So
pivot.
yeah, so actually, that's the
But
reason
he's
why
also
it's
out.
not.
He's also
It's not.
out.
It's not. No, he's not out. It's
He's
not. It's
not?
not. He's not out. it's not because of them being, you never know. I think it's just because of the dynamics of the team. You know,
Hmm.
Javi not able to have his full squad. But again, I think as some of you guys said, they have maybe I'm just being too harsh. They have a real chance. So is that like the last comment we got?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the very last comment. I
a quick question for you guys, or Trula and you as a Barca fan. If you had
Mhm.
everyone, if you had Gavi, Pedri, De Jong, Gundogan, all healthy, will all four of them start?
No, for all four of them don't have to start. I've
No, I'm
seen
just
Gavi.
asking. Will you
No,
start all four of them?
I've seen Gavi sometimes play to the left. We like to
Okay.
create. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
like
that's
to.
what I'm.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm asking. Will you have all four of them start?
Well, it just depends.
Okay.
Me no, but it just depends. We've seen these guys. It's all about total football right now, right? It's not even
Yeah,
about players who can play three, four different roles. I mean, Gavi and Pedri. We have not spoken about those players a lot this year because they have been injured for long periods of time. But those are one of the most exciting young players in
Yeah, for
football.
sure. Especially,
oh
yeah.
yeah,
So yeah,
So that's
oh
why I was
yeah.
asking. Let's say you have a classical game and everyone is healthy. Will you
Mm.
have Gavi and Pedri start with Gundogan and De Jong, all of them at the same time? Like, let's say El Clasico.
You gotta keep some on the bench though.
I'm not sure because you have some disappointing players. Oh, there's this guy who's really interesting. I'll not have all of them start, but I'll play. But I would like to see them play with what's his name, Fermin.
Fermin,
Yes,
Fermin,
Fermin.
yes. I would
Fermin.
like to
Yeah,
see
that
those
kid
guys
is
play
good.
with
He's
Fermin.
good. Yeah,
Fermin is gonna be a danger boy. He's gonna be
yeah.
dangerous
Fermin.
in the
Yeah,
next.
he's good. He's
Yeah.
good. Fermin is
So
good.
this Barca team has so many elements to
Yeah.
be a dangerous team in the next season though. Because like you look at these guys, they've literally had to grow so fast to
I
fit in
think
because they didn't buy any players, right?
I
So
think
they're La
although
Masia, yeah,
yeah,
they've
I
really
think
done a great job.
although a guy like Lewandowski is still respected, but I don't think he has been a good fit for Barcelona. I don't
Yeah,
think Lewandowski has been a good
yeah.
fit for
I
Barcelona.
think Aubameyang was a better fit
No,
than him.
don't call me Obama Young,
I think
please.
no, I seriously think
Oh
Aubameyang was a
no,
better fit.
I'm
Yeah,
talking football.
Aubameyang
You're calling
scored.
Obama Young, man.
Me,
No, no, no,
me,
no,
I
no.
think,
'Cause-
I don't know. I used to think different. I think Lewandowski was a good fit. He's played very
oh,
well
you
since
do?
No, the reason I'm
Barcelona.
saying
Yeah.
that, listen, Lewandowski is no longer
The
a
type of player.
striker. He doesn't have the legs.
No,
Lewandowski
but
just
if you I watched when you watch him play, you don't if you don't know Lewandowski the way he plays, you will not know he's 35 when Barca is playing.
no
You
man.
understand? That's what I'm trying to say. You won't know he's 35. He
Do you
doesn't
know?
have
No,
Do you
that.
know
I've seen many,
Lewandowski
especially
hasn't
this
scored
year.
in the Champions League this year?
Especially this year, I've seen many games where Lewandowski has been very, very
Yeah,
disappointing for
he hasn't
Barcelona.
scored in the Champions League this year at all.
So he's been
He has
very, very
given an assist
disappointing.
and he has started 2 games
You
and he
know,
hasn't scored a single goal.
I'm not
So
looking
that's
at the
not
goal. I'm not
Lewandowski.
looking at his goals. I'm looking at the way he
His
plays. I'm not
his
looking at
output.
his goals. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking
I thought he
here.
was just going to be that goal poacher who is just going to wait inside the box. But I actually see him
No.
making runs. That's why I said I'm impressed with the way he's playing. I'm seeing him making lots of runs, diagonal runs, and all that. I didn't expect
well,
that from Lewandowski.
he's making those runs, but those runs are not effective. What about that?
No, not that they're not effective. It's just that the team is not in sync. The team is not in sync. Today you have Christensen. How can you have Barcelona and you have people like Oriol Romeo starting in the
Unreal.
midfield? You know?
No,
Yeah.
he's starting because all the other guys are injured.
Thank
We
you.
have
So when
four
you
players
make
who are
that
injured.
runs,
No,
that
but
runs, and then you have
I'm talking about when those guys were playing. I'm talking about the first round of the season when those guys were playing. I watched Lewandowski and it
those
was
guys
hard
are
work.
barely played together. When
No,
this
it
one
They
was
is
haven't.
hard work,
healthy,
man.
Not as
when this one
much.
is
Not
healthy,
as
that
much.
guy goes. When that guy is healthy, this guy goes. I don't know if it's a
No,
Yeah,
mental
no, man. Go
they've
check
they've
out
been
mental.
Lewandowski.
recycling injuries.
Yeah.
They've been
Yeah, man.
recycling injuries.
Go check out the goals Lewandowski has been missing for Barcelona. Believe me.
Yeah, he misses a lot of the goals.
He's
He has
not been.
taken 79 shots and scored only 13 goals.
Yeah,
79 shots.
it's not been the
His
same.
XG is not good at all. Even Edin Ketia has a better XG
Ah,
than
man,
him. But
forget about
anyways,
it. Please, please, man.
Stats,
no more
Man,
stats,
comments. No,
stats.
yeah, there's no comments here.
what are
You
you
know me,
talking
I'm
about?
the
Forget
stats
about
guy.
Ketia, man. I told
Ketia
you
has a
guys.
better XG than him, man. Come on.
Ah, man,
Stats.
forget about Ketia. But
And Ketia is
anyway,
still young. Go for it.
okay.
Go for it. Go for it, True
I
Lion.
see Julio Cho is waving. He just came in. Those were all the
Okay.
comments, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Wait. But there's a comment from JC. He says, personally, I don't like Lewandowski, but I think he's done a good job for Barca. Okay,
Yeah, he's
that's
done a
true.
good job. He's done a good job last year, right? Barcelona win the
Mhm.
title, he scored some important goals. But I'm talking about this season. I don't think Lewandowski has been,
Who's played well for Barcelona this season?
I'm not talking
Lamin,
about, I'm not complaining. I'm not
No, no,
comparing
the
no.
little kid.
No, I'm just
Listen,
asking
listen,
who's played well for Barcelona this season.
bro. Listen.
Lamin.
I'm
That's
giving
it.
you, I'm giving you like
Yeah,
some hard facts.
exactly. So
Lewandowski is a
what I'm
player
asking is
where
that, yeah, so what I'm asking that
Lewandowski
who's
scores
played well?
13 goals. Lewandowski scored 13 goals a season. Do you
Yes.
want me to say that Lewandowski has
Okay.
done
What
good
I'm
for
asking is that,
Barcelona?
okay, who's played well for Barca this season?
What do you mean by who's played well for
So
Barca?
you cannot expect
Listen to
Lewandowski to
that.
play well when
I'm
But
talking
nobody is
about
playing well.
this
Lewandowski.
is the best. This is the best comment of the whole stream about
Yeah.
Barcelona. Imagine Romeo leaving South. Was it Southampton?
Southampton, I wasn't a starter
Southampton,
when he was
and he
leaving.
wasn't a starter at
When he
Southampton,
was
and he's
leaving.
now the
Yeah.
main guy at
He's
Barcelona.
No, he's not the
bossing
Imagine
main
them.
that.
guy at Barcelona. It's not what are you guys talking about. I'm
He's one
talking
of
No,
the
about
he
main
plays.
guys.
I'm not saying he's a
He
starter, but
starts
he
most of the
plays for
games.
Barcelona.
He plays for
what do you
He
Barca.
mean
plays games, like not he plays games.
He gets games,
He get
good
yeah,
game
games
time for
too.
yeah,
Barca.
but guess what?
Even
Barcelona,
before,
what's this guy's name? This guy
even
won
before,
the title with Barcelona. What's his name? The guy
even
who came
before
from Wolves.
even before the injuries, he
The
was
guy
getting
who
For
came
game
from
time.
Wolves. The guy who
oh
came from
yeah,
Wolves.
Who?
the muscle guy,
Amara Traore.
Yes, he
Yeah,
won.
Traore.
Traore.
Yeah, he won.
He
He won the
won the
title.
title
He
for
was
Barcelona.
Yeah,
Wolves. He went
I'm
on
talking
loan.
about how many. I'm talking about playing time. What's
No,
that?
but
I'm talking
Traore,
about
no. Romelu started playing when those injuries started happening. What are you talking about?
Romeo started playing even when those injuries were there. He was having game time.
Guys,
What I
Romeo has
remember.
had
Yeah,
23. He has participated in 23 matches.
How many
yeah.
games did he
10 of
start?
them he started. He started
How
10,
many?
and
10
then
games.
and the other 13 he came off the bench.
I say
Yeah.
yes.
So
My
what are you
problem is
talking
not
about?
even
He's not
him
a starter.
starting. My
He's not
problem
a
is
So
not
starter.
he
even
has.
him. My problem is not even him starting. My problem
He's
is
not
that
a
even having
starter.
game time. Even having game time.
Why not give him
Problem.
time? We have many players that have left teams. PK was PK playing with Manchester United when he
Hear
left.
the team you're calling. Hear the team you're calling.
No,
Manchester
it's just a
United.
question, bro. It's just a question. It's just a question. Was he
He
playing?
left prime. He left prime Manchester United. Prime Manchester United.
What's his name?
Prime. United was a
Eric
prime.
Choupo-Moting who
Wait.
left
Yeah.
relegated Stokes. Eric
No, you
Choupo-Moting
know
was
his.
this.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know his
That's
position.
true. It's
You
also
know his
part
position.
of it's also part of the work of a good agent
No,
though.
man, we're
So
talking about midfielders, people who boss a game,
No,
midfielders.
midfielders.
This
bro.
man goes. This man leaves
Romelu is
a
not a bad
relegated.
player.
He leaves a
Romelu is not a
relegated.
bad player.
He leaves a
Romelu,
relegated
No, but
Southampton, not as a
at
starter.
Barca,
I
bro,
yeah,
know the only reason he came back to Barcelona is because he's from the Barcelona academy.
he's
If
from the
not,
no, but
Barcelona
Barcelona
will
Romelu is
never
not a
look
academy.
at
bad
Yeah.
him.
player. He's not a bad player.
Who?
No,
When
he
you have problems,
yes,
when you
yes.
have problems and you need to solve the problems, you look for
Who's not a bad player?
Romelu is not a
Romeo,
bad player.
Romeo.
He's not a bad player. I've seen him
Oreo,
playing in
yeah.
EPL.
Ah,
He was
okay.
not
No,
bad.
then there's no need to carry on this
No, we saw him
conversation.
playing the
No, no,
EPL.
no. But I mean, yeah, I mean, he has the fundamentals, I guess, to be a good player. But
Okay.
his numbers don't look too impressive to me.
We're not
Who?
talking
And the
about
fact that
numbers here, man.
Forget about
yeah, yeah,
numbers,
yeah. I
Nico.
mean,
Nico,
I
We're not
don't
know.
even
talking
look at
about
numbers.
numbers here. I
Romeo was
just
a
gave you
ben-
guys.
Romeo was a
Choupo
bencher.
Moting led relegated Stokes and went
Romeo
to
was
Paris
a
Saint-Germain.
Romeo was a
Oh wow,
bencher. Romeo was
he's
a
32
bencher
years old. I
at
didn't know
this
he
team.
was
Romeo
that
was a
old.
bencher at Southampton, and then
Yeah,
he
he
comes
was.
to Barcelona. Barcelona.
Listen, guys.
You understand? He comes to Barcelona.
How
Now,
old
man,
is he? How old is he?
he's 31 or 30 or 31.
He's 32 years
32,
old.
32,
He's
Yeah,
32 years
32.
32.
old.
Okay, yeah. Let's say, yeah,
Okay.
he went there at 31. Who's
Oh, come
Romeo?
on.
Romeo?
Choupo
Man,
Moting left Stokes. Choupo Moting left Stokes and
uh-huh.
went to PSG.
Yes. So those are two players
Okay.
I'm naming
It's
in
all
the
about the
football
system.
history.
It's
So,
about the system.
what
It's
system?
about it's
These
about
guys.
Ronaldo
All
is
right,
young.
there's another comment, guys. Hold on. There's another comment. He was not playing. He was not playing because we had Vidic and Ferdinand. I
No, he's
think that
talking
was
about
about
PK. PK.
yeah,
PK, yeah.
PK and Manu. Okay, the next comment, JC says Romeo was playing even when most of those
Yeah,
guys
I
were healthy,
was
and
watching
that's
that,
true.
sir. He was playing.
How can you
I
compare
was
Romeo's
watching.
situation to Gerard Piqué? Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's true. Because I think
no, I'm not
he.
comparing.
I mean, he has
Listen,
776 minutes played, so
listen,
we have to be honest.
listen, guys,
Yeah,
listen. This is the comment I was making, that we have seen players
Mhm.
left the bench in teams and gone to bigger teams, and Barcelona doesn't mind doing that because they believe that their players understand the system. Romelu, I've seen that guy play when he was much more younger in the EPL. He was not a bad player. He knew the fundamentals and he was a good passer of the ball. With
And what
Barcelona,
when he came to
when the
Southampton,
injuries, when the injuries kept piling with the Pedris and the Gavis and the Gundogan, that's when that guy was playing.
Then they
I've
got
been
him.
watching. I watched
No,
Barcelona
this
in and
kid,
out.
this kid left Barcelona and came to Chelsea. Chelsea, I had so much hopes on him. He was a flop. They gave him the chance. He was a flop.
Everybody flops in Chelsea.
Wait, now I'm still
Everybody
talking.
flops
Hey,
at Chelsea.
I agree. Everybody flops at Chelsea, though.
I'm
I
still
agree.
where I'm still
I
carrying on the
absolutely
conversation.
agree.
Where
Tru3lion.
I'm still, I
Hold
haven't
on.
landed. I
Tru3lion,
haven't
hold
landed.
on. Hold on. Let him
I
make his
haven't
point. Let
landed.
him make his point.
Chelsea, I'm giving you his progression, his progress. He was a flop at
Okay.
Chelsea. They loaned him to Sevilla. He flopped at Sevilla. He came to Southampton. He started at Southampton for a while. Towards at some point, he started flopping at Southampton, and then he went to the
Let me
bench.
ask you a question.
And then he went to the
Let me
bench
ask you
at
a question.
Southampton, and
But
then
everybody
Barcelona
flops
signed
at
him. Like I
Chelsea,
said,
though.
the only reason
No,
Barcelona
let me
signed
check you. Let me check you. No, let me check you. Because there was a point where Southampton was playing one of their best footballs, and they almost finished. They finished in Europe, and this kid was one of the best players in Southampton.
one of the
So why is he
when has he been the best? One of the best players. I know you want a conversation which will lean towards your points. He's never been one of the best players in Southampton. But let's not go there. There was a point where Emil, the guy that plays for Tottenham now, what's his name? Pierre-Emile Højbjerg.
Yeah.
When he left Bayern and he came to Southampton, he had contract problems. He refused to renew his contract with Southampton. They benched him and started using Romeo. Romeo was on the bench. Romeo has always been an average player. He's never been one of the best. He's never been one of the best. He's been an average player all through his career. Like I said, the only reason he signed for Barcelona is because he's a picking for Barca. There's nothing Barca saw in him
Of course.
to bring him there.
No, but that's
Because
what
he's a
I
picking for
just
Barca.
told you that. I just told you that that this guy, what's his name? I've told you that Barca always bring back these kids because they understand the system of Barca.
Yeah, okay. They understand the
Eddie
system. They know
Garcia,
that they're good. That's not the point. My point here was that he's an average player. Very
Of
average.
course.
Very,
But he's not a bad player. He's
Very
not
bad.
bad.
How can you? My problem is leaving a bench at Southampton, relegated Southampton, and Barcelona signing you. Barcelona will not look at the
That's
player.
why I'm asking
who's
you
not their
how old is
He's
he?
31. He's 31. How old is
32.
Gundogan?
He's
How old is
32.
Gundogan?
He's 32.
How old is
So
Gundogan?
it's normal when Southampton goes down, they start playing young players. It's normal. So what are you talking about?
No, he was in the bench in Southampton before they relegated, not after they relegated. Before they got relegated last season, he was a bencher for
Anybody
Southampton.
can be a bencher. Bencher doesn't mean that you don't know football. Samuel Eto'o was a bencher at Everton for Lukaku. Was Samuel Eto'o not a bencher for Everton for Lukaku?
All right.
What was
Let's
what
call
was
time.
Southampton's
Let's call
position?
time. Let's
What
call
was
time
Everton's
on the
position?
argument.
Who were those players for? Who were those players for? Who were those
These
players
guys.
for?
All right, let's
Everton?
get some.
Your problem is that you're
Let's get
focusing
some
on
folks
the
engaged on the comments.
bench part, not the players who were benching you. You're just focusing on the part that was the bencher. You just call Lukaku. Lukaku at Everton was good. Who were those players for? Who were those players for Southampton?
Eto'o was on the bench for Lukaku.
For who? Was Lukaku good?
Everton.
Lukaku was good. At Everton, Lukaku was good.
Gavi, Gundogan, Pedri.
I'm talking. Talk about Southampton. We'll talk about Southampton.
Why should I talk about
No,
Southampton?
You see the comment? Did you guys see the comment from JC? See the comment from JC. See the comment from JC. Said the basics. So you're limiting him to just the basics. All right, guys. It's a good conversation to have, guys. Some of these things are very subjective, to be honest.
Barcelona likes the player that understand the basics of the foundation of their game. They like such players. Mm-hmm. You take the ball and you pass. You take the ball and you pass. They like such players.
But I think one thing stands out. One thing that stands out is we when we're in the big picture of things, when we look at how players play, sometimes the culture of the team helps the player to really come back to their form, right? We've seen players go like imagine Kevin De Bruyne didn't succeed at Chelsea. He had a tough time at Chelsea. Mo Salah had a tough time at Chelsea. So sometimes some of these things happen, and the player has to like recondition themselves, to fit into a culture. That's why when some agents are pushing some transfers, I keep telling these kids, like, be very careful which team you go to, right? Yeah. The culture has to be a fit to kind of encourage you. Someone like Eddie Nketiah.
Romeo did not recondition himself. Romeo did not recondition himself.
No, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, some of these things matter, right? Because someone like Eddie Nketiah, if I was the one advising him in his career last year or 2 years ago, I would have advised him to leave. I would have
What do you
advised him to leave Arsenal.
not on
You
loan?
know,
Like permanent?
not on loan. Yeah, on loan.
Okay.
Insist that he wants to go on loan, but he wanted to stay and fight for a position. And look at what's happening now. Like Havertz has come in. Even Gabriel Jesus right now is struggling to find a starting spot on the team. So some of these things, some of these players, talent ID is good. You can identify talent ID, but the culture of the team has to fit. It has to. And sometimes look at the transfer. This kid who came to Man U and then the coach leaves. What's his name?
Van de Beek.
Yes, Van de Beek, and then the coach gets fired, like the next
No,
week
no,
or
but
the next month,
Van de
or
Beek came. But I thought this guy Ten Hag was going to
so
use Van de Beek a lot because he was
a
his
lot. But
players
yeah,
at
exactly,
Ajax.
because he was his player at Ajax. But I
Mhm.
think something happened to him. His confidence is shot, and now even his old coach doesn't recognize him and sends him off on loan. So those are some of the things, guys. Those are some of the things. Anyways, there's another comment here. Those guys were just not given the opportunity to showcase their talents at Chelsea. Kevin De Bruyne and Salah. I think they were.
I thought no,
Mourinho even had an interview.
I thought it was the case, but I still think that they did not have enough playing time. But
Yeah,
Mourinho said otherwise when he was interviewed. He
he
said
was interviewed. Yeah,
De Bruyne wasn't patient enough, and then Salah, he brought
did
Salah.
it
He didn't want Salah to leave, but Chelsea wanted Salah to
exactly,
leave. So that Mourinho said that, but
exactly,
I don't know.
exactly. Because
Well,
they wanted playtime. Anyways, yeah, let's wrap it up. Tru3lion, over to you.
yes, let's go ahead buddy, and wrap this up. I know we'll have another show after these games over the weekend, so we can actually allocate time only to talk about maybe this UEFA Champions League games because we have these games and we have the return game, so we can talk about the results. Then we can give you guys a chance to maybe change your picks and depending on how the result. But I will stick
Yeah.
with my picks.
No,
I
So
will
let's
stick
we'll
not
with
see.
change.
my
Let's not
picks.
change.
Oh no, I'm
Let's not
sticking to
change.
my
If we
picks.
have to
I'm
change
not
our picks, we
changing
have to change it before tomorrow's game. Let's
before
not change it
tomorrow's
after
game.
the
I'm not
after
changing
one
anything. I'm
game.
sticking with my choices. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you again. Thank you, Ajab. Thank you, JC. I'm saying thank you, JC. Yeah, thank you, JC, for
Yeah.
actually starting
Jesse,
the
yeah.
show and hanging out here, hanging out
Julius, JC,
with us,
Alfred. Thank
Julius.
you guys.
Thank you guys very much. We do appreciate you guys. We hope to be more consistent and to actually bring more shows because I think there is actually a need for us to feed you guys with daily news of football. Maybe we
Yes.
can come up with something like a podcast where we shall do 10 minutes of news every day so that we can help actually grow our channel,
Yeah,
grow this platform, and be a household name when it comes to football. It was football trio for you guys. Thank you, your host Tru3lion, together with Ajab and Nico. You guys have a wonderful week.
Thank you
thank you,
guys. Thank you. Don't forget to
thank you.
share and follow.
Yeah.